Bungie article reflecting on Lightfall, launch and beyond. It says it was posted 14 hours ago, but I guess Bungie's got this new thing now where they actually they put an article up, but they don't public it until the next day. All right. Okay. We're just over a month into the launches of Lightfall in Season 20, and there's been a lot to take in. Today, we'd like to dive into the feedback that we've received, the gameplay updates and quality of life improvements we've been cooking up, and an early preview of what we're planning for next season. But first, we want to start by giving a massive thank you to the millions of players who jumped in with us so far. And a lot of players, guys. We actually just made a video recently. Paul Tassi did an article, guys. We literally have so many more players that picked up Lightfall, despite the narrative blunders. A lot of people are playing Destiny 2. Now, with Lightfall's launch, Destiny 2 saw its highest number of concurrent players in years. We welcome more new lights, returning players, and daily active players than we did with the Witch Queen's launch last year. We surpassed our sales expectations for a new expansion, and we were absolutely blown away by the record-breaking viewership for our world's first race with Root of Nightmares. Lightfall's OST even debuted as the #1 soundtrack on iTunes against some very steep competition, which warmed our hearts to see. The music is always banging, right? But just as with any new expansion year, we have our work cut out for us as we pave the way for what's to come. Here's Destiny 2 game director Joe Blackburn to kick things off. All right, Joe. Tell us what's up, man. Let us know, are we getting that Destiny 3 or not? Hey, Guardians! We're floored by how many new and returning faces have been devouring Destiny 2 these last few weeks, and while it's clear the initial experience we delivered on day one didn't provide the full clarity we originally planned for when we set out creating Lightfall, the team has taken the feedback to heart in both what's coming this year and with how we're ending the Light and Darkness saga in the final shape. Over the last few years, the team has set a high bar for what to expect from Destiny 2's evolving world, and we're committed to making sure the resolution of our first saga lives up to that legacy. Of our first saga. All right. We'll continue to build toward that resolution throughout the year of Lightfall, and I can't wait to experience the conclusion of the saga alongside all of you as we make our way to the final shape. Of course, there's plenty to come between now and then. We've taken a broad look at the community feedback across the game since the launch and have been working to address several areas in the coming weeks, while also forging ahead on content for our upcoming seasons. Let's get into the things we're building and improving in response to your input on Lightfall so far. Starting with ranking up. Hey everyone, it's the Player Identity team here to update you with what we're planning for Guardian ranks and Commendations. These two systems have been live for about a month now, and we've been discussing how they will evolve since Lightfall's launch. First, we wanted to walk through a few of our goals for these systems as they were designed. So for Guardian ranks, they should serve as a guide to let you know what you should be doing to improve your Guardian, especially if you're new to the game. They should create a social signal to others. Yes, they should. So that you can quickly glean some information about a Guardian skill with Destiny 2. This social signal should also carry meaning season over season. You're damn right! Commendations are meant to create cycles of gratitude so that players are thankful for one another. They should reinforce that the most celebrated Guardians are those who have earned the respect of their peers by helping them out. Again, it's all about the flex. Quiet sixes! The 11s are talking, which is an okay thing to say, all right? I'm just letting you know. Maybe not to the 6. Let's not shit talk the 6s. But in anyone from rank 7 to 10, I think that's completely allowed. Now, meeting our goals. With a solid amount of data now under our belts, it's clear we missed the mark on some of our goals and needed to make updates based on constructive feedback. While the first batch of Guardian ranks has proven to be an invaluable guide for new lights, we want to improve the system for all players. Guardian's ranks should be a useful guide season over season, which means they should reflect the most recent content in game. Hitting the highest rank you can achieve isn't easy, so you should feel pride in showing off across multiple seasons. Exactly. We also expect players would become annoyed if they had to redo all the basics each season, so we're building in shortcuts to renew ranks you've previously achieved even faster. All right, to that end, we've refined the goals for seasonal resets. Players should be able to represent their confidence across a whole season, and those who've previously completed a Guardian rank should be able to renew that rank quickly in the next season. The social signal should also have meaning each season. That Guardian is rank 8, so they clearly know how to complete a raid. You would think. But we actually were raiding yesterday with some 8s, and I'm just saying, a lot of people throwing on that team. I should join their fire team for the new one. So how will this manifest in the game? When starting a new season, your rank displayed to everyone will reflect your highest rank earned last season. And if you achieve a higher rank than you did last season, it will be your new displayed number. Okay. All right. So your rank displayed to everyone will reflect your highest rank earned last season. And if you achieve a higher rank than you did last season, that will become the new display number. Okay, all right. I still like the idea of what I said about prestiging, but all right, well, I mean, we'll see, Bungie. Players renew their previously completed ranks by only completing blue tinted categories in the Guardian rank progression. Other categories will not reset. Ranks you do not renew will fade at the end of a season. Combination counts will be reset each season to reflect your experience with the newest content. Your combination score and breakdown will be tracked each season, and you'll only lose a percentage of your combination score each season rather than having it completely reset. All right, so they've not only lowered the cost, but you're only going to lose a percentage of it. All right. I still like gilded ranks. Now, as the year goes on, it's important that we track your achievements through the season. In Season 21, we're adding a new display to the Journey screen that will show your recent seasonal history. This will include Guardian ranks, combination score, combination breakdown, seasonal challenges, and seasonal triumph score. All right, here we go. You got this. Yeah, you got that. All right. All right. Hold on, before we just go any further. You see this gold insignia? That displays the highest rank you got this season before. Okay, notice it shows 9. Even though the ranks have reset, that's still going to show up. So, for my rank 11s that reached rank 11 this season, you'll still be able to shit talk the 10s and below. But I guess to carry it over to the next season, you want to reach rank 11 again, if you want to be 11 again. Is that right? Is that how I'm understanding it? It still seems too temporary. It seems too checklisty rather than prestigious. You know what I mean? That's just my thoughts. I still like the idea of like an annual grind more than a seasonal grind. And I still like the idea of Guardian ranks being some of the hardest content you can tackle. It's a one number. You know, it's the first thing you see when you look at a Guardian, and that's special. So it should be something super difficult. It should encompass everything in Destiny. It's the combination of PvE and PvP and just the hardest things you can tackle in the game at the highest ranks. I think that's what it should be. I know Bungie's designed it as a means to give new players an idea of what they need to do, and I feel like ranks 1 through 6 satisfy that. Everything after that should be you know, to reach the highest level of your Guardian. Even Gambits. Let me tell you something. If there's something became rank 12, rank 13, and said you have to play 100 Gambit games solo, we're playing Gambit. We are playing Gambit. Now, for Ever 6, we believe several of our objectives for Guardian ranks were initially overtuned, and we placed too many objectives in certain ranks, leading to the very appropriate meme of most players being Forever 6 at launch. We've taken a step back to look at how things could be improved, and we're making changes that we believe will make a big difference. For example, shortly after launch, we moved the Lost Sector completion and flawless objectives to higher ranks. We reduced the combination objective requirements in Guardian ranks 7 through 11. All right, I think the commendation thing, I understand that one. The Lost Sector one, the Lost Sector, guys. Longer term, currently planned for Season 21, returning players will now start at rank 5, and ranking up from 5 to 7 will be faster than it was to rank up from 6 to 7 at launch. Rank renewal will be fast-tracked, so most players will have quickly renewed rank 7 by playing seasonal content, earning artifact power, completing seasonal challenges, and trying out the newest exotic. We also plan on remixing ranks 6 through 11 to provide a better expression of skill between those ranks, and once these changes are out in the wild, we'll continue to monitor the data to determine which other long-term changes are needed to ensure we feel good about our updating objectives. All right, so again, guys, they're trying to push the harder content, though, to the higher ranks so that folks aren't stuck at a level. Now, someone says, do we lose our loadout slots from 7 to 10 from seasonal resets? No, you should not. I feel like that would cause a tremendous amount of backlash. Now, commendable objectives. Although I was initially excited to see over 100 million combinations granted in the first 2 weeks, we're aware that we made the system too closely tied to progression. We know we have to work to get commendations to a better place, and plans are already in motion. We're retuning some values so that active players can be much more deliberate about who they do or don't want to give a commendation to, without worrying about the amounts that they've given holding them back from their goals. We also recently made it easier to identify and appreciate your favorite teammates by adding 5 seconds to the combination phase at the end of a PvP match. Dude, That right there would fix a lot of problems. I can't tell you how many times I get locked out. Commendation. It's like it won't even let me apply it to my teammates. Now, in our updates on March the 30th, we made additional reductions to commendation requirements so that players can reach their milestones even faster. Remove Guardian rank objectives that require players to give commendations from rank 7 to 9. Further reduce the commendation objective requirements for Guardian rank 7 to 9. And reduce Hawthorne's weekly powerful commendation requirements from 20 to 5. Yeah, so a lot of things there. Good changes, honestly, because there are a lot of people as the season progresses that once people reach a certain rank, they're not even going to care about giving out commendations. They're like, whatever, So now in the coming weeks, we're planning additional updates to make giving and receiving commendations more meaningful, including updating eligibility for commendation based on the activity participation or lack thereof, and adding a new commendation, best dress. Let me tell you something. You want people to commendate every single game and they remember every single time? Allow commendations to be used as a currency. If you can buy upgrade modules with commendation points, I'm not saying an ass load of upgrade modules or enhancement cores, you know what I mean? But you get something out of it. Imagine if you can actually spend those things. Starting in season 21, objectives to receive leadership commendations in ranks 10 through 11 will be retroactive for the season. So raids and dungeons that you lead from day 1 will count towards your progress. Now, building our social system is always challenging. Even in a studio with hundreds of people, you never know how things are going to behave in the real world until we put it into the hands of the players. The best part about this community is that you're not afraid to give us input. Constructive feedback is always appreciated and essentially to helping us get things into the best possible state for everyone, and we'll keep monitoring and evolving our system so that we can reach our goals. AKA, Destiny community, y'all know how to bitch, but it is input. Commendations need to be more relatable. Your Guardian did a ton of damage, so they should get a commendation for highest DPS. They could. I mean, that to me, yeah. Some of these like best dress. I would love a throwing commendation for literally the person on your team who throws. Imagine whatever commendation you get the most of, you can actually apply it like a title. The beautiful thing about this is that after every encounter, instead of having that awkward conversation like, hey, Andy, you f***ed up a lot there. You don't even have to have that conversation. The commendations speak for themselves, right? Andy's like, what? I got 5 throwing commendations? Well, Andy, you might have been throwing. Difficulty adjustments. When we launched Lightfall, we kicked off the largest set of difficulty retuning the Destiny franchise has seen since the Taken King. As players started patrolling the Amuna and playing Lost Sectors, Nightfalls, and the Avalon exotic mission after completing the campaign, it became apparent that some areas of the game were experiencing unintended behaviors because of this change. For example, the modifiers for Legendary Campaign feel great in single-player campaign missions scaled up to 3 players, but they become oppressive in a ritual-focused 3-player activity like Avalon. Even Nightfalls, which have far less aggressive enemy HP tuning than the Legendary Campaign, can feel overwhelming when played multiple times in a row. So Legend and Master activities, while we feel incoming damage to players is in a great spot in Legend and Master activities, non-boss units had a bit too much health and could feel more like bullet sponges than we'd like. We made some changes to balance things out, starting with these tuning updates that went live on March the 30th. So Legend and Master activities, enemy HP scale reduced by 10%. This includes all non-raid and dungeon content with the Legend and Master modifiers. Legendary activities such as the Legendary Campaign missions are generally not affected. Legendary Avalon co-op scalar converted to Legend Nightfall levels rather than the Legendary Campaign. Oh, wow. So Avalon was scaled based on what was in the Legendary Campaign. Enemy HP should be reduced by about 33% in a full fire team. Now, look, I'm not going to lie, guys. Were those activities hard? Especially like Legendary Avalon? Yes. If we didn't have Winterbite, it would have been much tougher. I will say this, though. That's why it's really important to know what is the meta. If you had a problem with the final boss there for Avalon, Wishinder straight up slaps him. I'm serious, guys. Like Wishinder, you could shoot him through the barrier. So, and again, that's the beautiful thing about Destiny. It's like, if you are keeping up with what's happening in the game, the meta will be revealed to you. All right, highest battlegrounds. We think our first Nightfall battleground felt great on Hero, similar to how it played That first time running in Season 19. On Legend and Master, however, things were a little less clear. We have some changes in our upcoming Season 20 mid-season patch. So highest battleground Morris, decreasing how often combatants waves spawn on higher difficulties in the tower phase. No. That was a lot of fun. Increasing the map score multiplier to help players reach score goals without exploits. Okay. Yeah. Adding an additional ammo crates. Other highest battleground changes. Reduce the frequency and number of some combatant waves in all boss fights. Reducing the health of Death Tongue core stores. Hive runes now have the same health on all difficulties. Good. Thinning out the fallen trip mines in the highest battlegrounds moon. Okay. So this is just for Legend and Master. If I'm understanding this correctly, Grandmaster is still going to be good, right? Like we're still going to get the same cadence of combatant spawning in GMs. I will say it is a lot of ads, but I honestly love how chaotic it is. It seems like Bungie's putting a clear separation between what is Legend and Master content and what is Grandmaster content, which by the way rolls out next week. Neomuna Patrol. When we started building Lightfall, we were keenly aware of what a normal patrol zone feels like to any player past new light, weak enemies that die easily and are only threatening to players in large numbers, or when public event bosses are around. For Neomuna, we wanted something different. We wanted to make it always feel dangerous, like a city under siege by powerful enemy forces, where even rank and file enemies can be a threat, and powerful enemies demand your attention. In some ways, it should feel unsafe and oppressive. We understand that's somewhat of a shock to many players who were expecting every enemy to be easy prey. After all, we have some strong difficulty modifiers on Neomuna. We're pretty satisfied with how it plays after nerfing Threshers, how it encourages team play and build crafting in ways patrol zones typically do not, and how it specifically allows many builds to shine. However, we've made some adjustments so far. We increased the spawn rates of Vex Strike Force events in the Vex Incursion Zone. That's good. Partition activities are now replayable each week after earning your initial Pinnacle Power reward. We reduce the rate that rank and file red bar enemies are replaced by tougher elite orange bar enemies, and reduce the spawn rate of turrets specifically in Hymns Apart. Now, in a future patch, certain patrols will be easier to complete. Yeah, I mean, I still to this day, I was under the expectation that patrols were going to be even harder, that a tormentor would like pop up out of nowhere and just start messing us up. I see where like new players, like maybe it like messes with them. So the purpose of everything in Destiny is to just be difficult enough to really start pushing you to, especially like the base content, to be difficult enough to really start pushing you to experience builds, to actually craft some things out. And once you get the right build down though, like you got it. There's so many activities you can mess up. Tormentor's on a patrol with a goofy power level skeleton. Dude, you know what I want? I want to just be sparrowing through Neomuna or wherever, and a tormentor just shows up and just yanks a new light off his sparrow right in front of me and just, and I have a decision to make right there. Do I get off and do I help that man, or do I keep driving? Terminal overload. We've heard feedback that the daily terminal overload area feels empty both before the event is active and while it's going on. During the event, we wanted players to focus on the event enemies rather than finding generic enemies that didn't give progress toward the event. Due to some technical restrictions, we couldn't accomplish this without removing enemies from the area prior to the event starting. We're investigating new tech that would allow us to be more flexible in a future destination. We did need to do a better job of matching you with guardians who are interested in a fight and not just driving past on their sparrows, however, as of a recent update. The Terminal Overload Director node now more reliably match makes you with other players who are participating in Terminal Overload. That's good. Yeah, I felt like the first week especially, it was better to just go there in the patrol zone rather than load into the activity, right? Now, Lost Sectors. Lost Sectors warrant special attention as some of our only solo-focused in-game activities. While we understand the initial frustration of being under-leveled early in Season 20 to take on Lost Sectors, we believe the activity levels are appropriate as in-game content for the seasonal ebb and flow, while acknowledging they require a full power climb with the release of Lightfall to reasonably attempt. As Season 20 continues, and certainly at the start of Season 21, we feel both Legend and Master Lost Sectors will feel very approachable for regular players. And we're planning on making any difficulty changes specific to Lost Sectors at this time, aside from the 10% enemy HP scale reduction that we noted above. We do have some upcoming changes to exotic acquisition to share below, so read on. All right. Now, Threshers. The Threshers were originally tuned for combat against Guardian tanks, which are more powerful tools against Cabal vehicles that could use auto-targeting to destroy slow-moving Thresher missiles. Threshers have always dealt more damage than intended against Guardians, but under pre-Lightfall combat at lower power levels, they weren't lethal enough to need a nerf. As part of our goal to make the invasion of the moon feel more threatening, we deployed Threshers more often than we had ever before and assigned them difficulty modifiers previously only seen in Nightfalls. This significantly increased their brutality. You damn right it did. It freaking wrecked the piss out of it, and like instantly. To reduce the spike, we removed impact direct damage and only left the explosion damage from their missiles in our patch on March 23rd. The maximum damage on a direct hit should now be less than half of what it previously was. Honestly, if Callus had a single Thresher in his boss fight room, it would have been a GG. Vanguard scoring and reputation. While it's still a little early to tell if Vanguard scoring bonuses are tuned to our liking yet, we do have a few things to discuss. With Lightfall, we retuned the score multiplier of Master Grandmaster from 2.0 to 2.5 to 1.75 and 2.0 respectively to make the scoring curve from Hero to Grandmaster smoother. While this makes for a better play experience, where every strike can fill time equivalent to others for rep gain at the same difficulty, any pursuit that used single instant score needed to be adjusted to account for this. So in a future patch, we will take a pass at low map score multipliers and individual objectives to make sure everything feels better, specifically Guardian ranks, Nightfall scoring, and objectives, and Legendaries returning bounties. They're also going to add a throttle to prevent certain exploits as an optimal scoring strategy. What the shit? AKA, we cannot suicide farm. You remember we would just you could just literally jump off and die over and over again. After season 20 concludes, we plan on doing a full review of Vanguard scoring over the entire season and may have other tunings to make. All right. Now, exotic armor drop rates. Here's the big one, guys. When we built Legend and Master Lost sectors in Beyond Light, we envisioned them with two main gameplay goals. The player should have a place to test their build solo against in-game content. The player should have a place to acquire new rolls of exotic armor with some amount of determinism. In the years since then, quite a few things have changed. While we left Lost sectors uncapped for combat difficulty and Lightfall, unlike Nightfalls and Raids, we put them at the same activity level of other Legend and Master activities, knowing that players might struggle early in Season 20, but would eventually be able to level up and master them. Since we aren't raising the pinnacle cap in Season 21, players would start that season ready to attack them. However, we also realized we've placed a lot of pressure on Lost sectors as a source of exotic armor. We agree they aren't currently a great method for new players to acquire exotics from Beyond Light and onward until they've played enough. And that, with the new activity level changes, they become even less welcoming to many players. We also agree that the utility for targeting specific drops has been getting less reliable as we add more exotics each season, and this will only continue. As such, we made some changes in a recent patch. We increased the exotic drop rates from both Legend and Master Lost sectors. Note, we want to be careful about raising the drop rate too much at a time when the activity itself will be getting easier and easier, especially in light of other changes coming, see below. Once most of the players' base completes their yearly power climb, we will again reevaluate completion times and rates for rewards. Honestly, guys, I thought they were going to be like, yo, public events are going to drop exotics. Lost sectors aren't the only exotic source in town, though. In an upcoming update, the Vex Strike Force event in the Vex Incursion Zone will drop a new piece of exotic armor if you have any left to collect. That is fantastic on a knockout list, and no slot limits like Lost sectors have. If you don't have any exotic armor left to collect, it will drop a random exotic roll. That's great. The only problem I have with this is the spawn rate for the Vex Strike Force event. Guys, has that been fixed yet? You read it already, Cross? Oh my. We spoke too soon, guys. Oh. Bungie's already made this adjustment. Look at there. Increase the spawn rate of Vex Strike Force events. It's still bad? It's still crap? All right. Well, everybody's saying it's still crap. Coming in Season 21, now that we come to some of the changes we're focused on during the remainder of Season 20, let's look ahead. We've got more quality of life updates in the works for Season 21, in addition to the adjustments coming to Guardian ranks and Commendations mentioned earlier. First up, let's hear from the Armor and Expression team about what's being added to Buildcrafting next season. So, now, new Buildcrafting updates. We've completely revamped the Armor mod system and made a lot of changes to how Buildcrafting works in Lightfall. as always, with such sweeping changes, we anticipate there will be reactions from the community that require us to make adjustments and additions. One of the most common pieces of feedback we've received on the new armor mod system is that players would like to better integrate their subclass and their armor mods by having a way to gain armor charge by picking up stasis shards, void breaches, fire sprites, and onyx traces. Now, the artifact perk in Season 20 that allows you to do so with fire sprites has proven to be a popular one, so we decided on a more permanent solution that covers all subclasses, including Strand. Likewise, many players miss the ability to build into being able to gain armor charge without having to get right up into the thick of things, while the increased number of ways to generate orbs of power warrants requiring Guardians to push forward into the combat arena to collect them and gain their armor charge. We do want to provide some ways for players to opt in to a more generous collection method through build crafting. Yeah, or like some sort of like tracking method, but I don't think they can do that there with orbs. So we're adding 2 new armor mods in Season 21 to replace some key features that many players were missing from their pre-Lightfall builds. Powerful attraction. When using your class ability, you collect all orbs of power within a radius determined by the number of copies of the mod you have equipped. Now, design note, the request for a seeking orbs mod that would allow orbs to track to you did not fall on deaf ears. However, adding such functionality to an object that is spawned as frequently in such numbers and for all Fireteam members, not just the creator, could create memory, performance, and latency issues. Yeah, I figured that was going to be a problem. It's still interesting. So, as long as it's within a radius, one of it's a 1-to-1, so 1 mod to 1 orb. All right. Obviously, like hunters, I mean, you just run in there and just dodge. Boom, you pick up everything. You know what I mean? I wonder what that radius is. You know, if it's something like 6 meters, it's 15 meters. If you can go through walls, elemental charges. Collecting the subclass collectibles associated with your damage type, fire sprites, onyx traces, stasis shards, void breaches, has an escalating chance to grant you a stack of armor charge. And on Strand, this is granted by destroying tangles. Design note, the frequency of gaining a stack of armor charge is tuned differently for each collectible to account for the differences in frequency and volume creating these collectibles. Wow. I feel like Strand is going to be more guaranteed, where it's like stasis, not so much. Orb creation is so easy. You have to go and actually pick those things up. Onyx traces tracks to you. Stasis shards, you can pick a fragment that makes it track to you. It's like fire sprites, breaches, you have to go pick up yourself. So if that's the case, I feel like onyx traces and stasis shards are probably going to be, since they're the easiest to proc and they track to you, it's probably going to be low probability of getting that armor charge. Whereas like fire sprites, void breaches will be the next level with Strand somewhere in the mix. All right. Additionally, we have a change coming to the shoot to loot weapon perk in Season 21. Shoot to loot can be used to loot orbs of power in addition to ammo boxes. Design note, we did evaluate also having the perk allow you to collect fire sprites, stasis shards, and other subclass spawning objects, but technical limitations that made this unfeasible at this time. Holy hell. Guys, I have been preaching about shoot to loot for a long time. Primarily because we like the cheese bosses and shoot to loot's really, really nice when you're in a cheese spot. But now, it will be meta. Now, as we mentioned shortly after Lightfall's launch, we're also bringing 3 new Strand aspects to Lightfall's owners in Season 21 to open up even more build crafting possibilities. We'll have more to share on what to expect from these aspects as we get closer to the next season's launch. As a reminder, these will be Titan, Flechette, am I saying that right? Flechette, Storm, Hunter, Threaded Spectre, Warlock, the Wanderer. I can't even remember what they already gave like a brief readout. But yes, we're getting new aspects next season for that. Now, artifact perk refunds. In Season 21, we're adding the ability to refund and apply individual artifact perks with a single click. We wanted to get this in for launch, but technical limitations prevented it until next season. This will make overall build crafting much faster, as you'll be able to adjust your passive perks on the fly without having to reset the entire artifact. You're still not going to be able to save your builds and it repurchase the artifact. Say, for instance, if I had a void-based build and I had bricks as my artifact that I had bought, if I had other artifact mods selected, but not bricks, it's not going to be able to slot that out. But you'll be able to go in there and individually refund an artifact and repurchase another one. That's crazy. Still not going to trap with loadouts, but still great change. Now, seasonal ritual schedule. We're constantly looking for new ways to improve our ritual schedule and have a couple of changes that players have requested for a while that we feel great about trying. In week 1 of Season 21, we're planning to run Trials of Osiris. Since we won't have power raise of any type in Season 21, we can run trials earlier than usual with a reasonable level playing field. We're hoping this can be an ongoing change. If it's a week where no raid is launching, no Ironbender is running, and no significant power climb is introduced, we think we should run Trials of Osiris as early as possible. All right, then. We're going to just open up with Trials. Yeah. I think that's great, guys. I mean, listen, I'm all about, Bungie should blow their loads. Like, when it comes to content, they should not have this trickle. You know what I mean? Blow your loads right at the front end. Get it all out there. Okay? Now, in Week 4, Season 21, we're aiming to make Grandmaster Nightfalls available without the seasonal power climb. And with requirement level changes we added during Season 19, we believe we can successfully launch Grandmasters earlier. Note that this is only for the weekly Grandmaster. The Conqueror Gilding node is still planned to open up in Week 7. This is fantastic. Blow thy load. Okay, hold on. I know some of you are like, but I want the node now. But think about this. You could have already been doing GMs right now. You could have been already going for those adept weapons. And considering how many adept weapons we have in rotation, I think we need every week in a season. Because what's going to happen is some of the weapons, if you don't get it within that 1 week that it's available, that's it. That's the only opportunity you get. Now, why even delay it? I don't know. I really don't know. But the point is, my main thing is I just care about the loot. And that's a week-to-week thing, right? That's a week-to-week thing. We could have already had an adept buzzard in our hands. All right. Exotic armor focusing. What is happening right now? We're adding exotic armor focusing to Raoul in Season 21. When this goes live, all exotic engrams, aside from the drops from activities that award exotics, that is Lost Sectors, Vex Strike Force, Nightfalls, will no longer auto-decrypt. These will sit in your engram inventory and can be focused at 2 different tiers. Jesus, look at the glimmer cost. And it's going to cost an Ascendant Shard. Look at that. Oh, wow. Red War Leg Decryption. Contains random exotic leg piece first discovered during the Red War. Now, Advanced Decryption. Focus an exotic engram to a specific entitled release. Shadowkey, Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, etc. Just like now, exotics that came out alongside seasonal releases are always included in the previously yearly entitlement. Gotcha. Cost is 1 exotic engram, 1 Ascendant Shard, and 30,000 glimmer. Look at this, guys. All right, so this is you if you just want to get a slew of things, right? And then down here, you go even more focused by getting 3 Ascendant Shards, double the glimmer, 60,000 glimmer, and an exotic cipher. Which, okay, we're gonna get into this. Hold on, let's just keep going. Precision decryption. Directly focus the exotic armor that you want. Therefore, it will have a higher cost. 1 exotic engram, 3 Ascendant Shards, 60,000 glimmer, and 1 exotic cipher. Note, we plan to raise the exotic cipher stack limit from 1 to 5. Thank God. Now, as before, you'll still be able to decrypt them at Raoul with no focusing for free. Note that you can get new pieces of exotic armor from focusing, so you'll need to collect them from the Vex Strike Force event or Lost Sectors in the meantime. In the future, we're looking to move acquiring new armor to a more accessible location. Guys, this is so good, damn it. I had a good role acting war rig. I got confused one day when deleting shit from my vault. I thought I was deleting, I can't remember. I think it was Crest. I'm pretty sure I was deleting what I thought was Crest, and I deleted my Actium war rig. And in the process, I now have a 47th stat row Actium that I have to live with. But not next season. Oh, Zer has a quest every week that drops a cipher? No shit. How'd you not know this? Streamer, by the way. Yo. Hold up. I played the game, okay? So I already have all the exotics, right? Exotic ciphers, that's just for you guys that you know, that have not gotten everything. Up until this point, and the one catastrophic error I made when deleting Actium or Rig, I had no need for exotic ciphers, all right? So, like the rest of the casuals, I too will now be making a trip to Zur every week, okay? Now more to come. We also have several more updates we think you'll love coming in Season 21, where we're saving the details for when we're closer to the reveal of the season. Here's a preview of a few. We're upgrading more than 15 of our lower performing exotic armors and rolling out balance changes to several others. Holy hell. Y'all ready for that airborne effectiveness update to Fighting Lion? Yeah. We'll have some exciting news for players who enjoy improving their raid and dungeon exotic drop chances through triumphs. That is fantastic. We're taking a pass at team-unfriendly Vanguard bounties requiring specific weapon or ability kills and more. Thanks again to everyone who's been on this journey with us so far. Whether you're a new Lions or a 9-year veteran, as always, keep your feedback coming and let us know what you think about everything we covered today at our @Destiny2 team accounts. Yeah, check those out. We're upgrading more than 15 of our lower performing exotic armor and rolling out a balance change to several others. So they're going to be upgrading. So sounds like they're going to be buffing in some sort of way. Hopefully it's not just AE changes. But they say, and rolling out balance changes to several others. You want to know the exotic that's about to get hurt? Everybody say bye-bye. Everybody say bye. I don't know. I have not looked at any leaks. I saw something about Thomas match, but that's about it. Yeah. I don't know about the other ones. Don't leak anything here, guys. I like to be super surprised. Anyways, everything here, honestly, a fantastic article. I'm loving everything I'm seeing here. I would say the exotic focusing is really good. The lost sector drops being increased, also a good change. And the fact that Vex Strike Force, if they can increase the cadence of that activity, that just being just a way to just kind of just, you know, we have a lot of exotics in the game. You imagine being a new light player or somebody that just picked up Destiny for the first time. And you're like, dude, how in the world am I going to obtain all these exotics? And then on top of that, you know, a good 60-70% of them are shit. You see anybody jumping up for MKs? Eternal Warrior? Kepris? Nobody in here say Kepris meta. It's not meta. Stop. It is. I have tried. Kepris isn't. Even with Strand, it is not meta. Anyways, guys, overall, fantastic changes. Really, really. I'm loving everything I'm seeing here. Season 21 is looking good. I still think that Guardian ranks could be a little bit better. I think they can have a better, like a guilding system of some sort. That's kind of a pat on the back for those that reach a certain threshold of their rank, whether it's even max rank or rank 11. Something to stand out from the player that got rank 11 4 times versus just once. You know, just my thoughts.
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.